Hello Internet! Welcome back to Mutton Shop Gaming. I'm the Mutton Shop Gamer, and today we're going to be taking a look at Scribblenauts Unlimited. Now, I know that Scribblenauts has a bit of a cult following behind it. I've never been part of it, but after Warner Brothers' Humble Bundle, I decided to get it in part of the Humble Bundle, and I played it just this past year, and I found it's a game that I kind of want to talk about. So, enough chit-chat, let's get right to the game. The narrative is simple and sweet. You are Maxwell, the son of an old adventuring couple who has been given a magical notebook to get whatever you want in the world, so long as what you want doesn't go against puritanical ideology. Your best friend and sister Lily was given a globe that would send you anywhere you want in the world. Naturally, you two being kids, you decide to be little brats and basically become trickster gods. An old man comes up to you asking for something to eat, so you give him a rotten apple to mess with him. Enraged, he decides to cast a spell that will slowly turn Lily into stone. Maxwell now has to find enough starrights to break the curse on his sister to keep her from doing drugs. I mean getting stoned. Overall, the narrative is very child-friendly and simple, but it's pretty good for its goal. The whole deal is to be kind to others and help them or karma will bite you in the butt. And that's a pretty good message. Plus, it takes you through the many puzzles of the entire game well enough that you can get through it with the story being that simple anyways. Let's move on to the aesthetics. Everything about it fits together brilliantly. The graphical detail is non-existent, but it's the color palette that really shines through along with the art style. All the objects throughout the game mesh together well into a cohesive world, even when you change the color of an object, because everything looks so simple. Sound design is also a dream come true, with all the music working well, a few pieces that are pretty dang catchy, and every sound effect working well for each individual object. If I did have to critique the aesthetic, and I do, that's kind of the point of this video series, I would say that the way emotions are expressed is pretty lazy. They have an emoticon bubble pop up to explain when somebody is frowning, smiling, or sad. That is pretty dang lazy. Oh sure, the bubbles fit into the aesthetic well, but what would be so hard about moving the line that makes the mouth curl up or down and the shape of the eyes change with eyebrows to express emotion? I know some characters don't have mouths, but how hard would it have been to just throw on 3 lines? Not very. Now let's get into the gameplay a touch, and this is where the game really shines. You can solve the puzzles of helping people in almost any way you want by summoning anything from the magical notebook. Once again, so long as it doesn't contradict puritanical views. I get that they wanted to make sure the game was rated E for everyone, but if Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people got away with beer and it was E10 and up, I'd think that you could put in mild suggestive themes in your game. I mean, only a 10-year-old would know how to spell some of these things. Like here, I actually had to consult a walkthrough because I didn't know enough about chemistry or embalming to know that I could summon formaldehyde. This begs the question, is this junior in college just that dumb, or are kids today really that smart? So there are 3 basic puzzle forms. I'll start with the one I didn't know how to do at all, which are the hidden ones. You can find hidden starlight shards by completing various hidden objectives that aren't revealed with starlight vision. While you might find it fun to earn them, I couldn't figure out how to do it. I would have completed this game entirely if they had been more clear. Perhaps giving a bonus objective in the next puzzle type I'm going to talk about would have helped. The full or complete starlight challenges are a long series of puzzles that will net you 1 complete starlight. These range anywhere from stopping mad scientists, to helping a guy go out on a date, to building a robotic dinosaur, to even helping people escape in a zombie apocalypse. You simply type in whatever the people need and give it to them. However, there is a common thing I've found. Sometimes you summon objects to do things yourself, but most of the time these things basically turn into fetch quests minus the quest. You don't have to go anywhere to find the gear suitable for the group of heroes. You just have to will it into existence by writing it down in the notebook. Hey, I just realized something. This book is the opposite of the Death Note. Think about it, you write down whoever you want to die in the Death Note, but in the magical notebook, whatever you write comes to life. I feel I could make a neat little joke here if I actually watched that anime. Aside from summoning things, there are 2 other ways to solve puzzles. You can add an adjective to different objects, turning this bird into a parrot or this dead girl into a living girl. You can also apply adjectives to yourself, resulting in you becoming immortal, fast, or even fat. Of course, you can also change how you want to look, where you can add wings to let you fly around, and Wait, there are mutton chops in this game? 10 out of 10, game of the year! Seriously, any game that lets you create your own character and lets you have mutton chops gets bonus points in my book. But we'll get back to creation in a second. Let's address the last form of quest solving. Sometimes you actually get to do things yourself. This means giving yourself a tool or a vehicle to do the job, like clearing the area of snow or cleaning off graffiti. When doing this form of quest design or exploring levels, you'll notice that Maxwell controls rather smoothly. The controls just feel so tight when wandering around looking for things to do. This just feels good to play. Let's get into that creation thing now. Aside from helping Maxwell's siblings, letting you unlock them as playable characters, you can create your own character here, which allows you to have some cool and custom stuff. However, since you cannot apply adjectives in the creator, it basically renders what you might have had worthless. Note, you can script things to have adjectives, but I didn't play around with it too much, so I can't be a complete judge on that part. It's just simpler and easier to write super fast wings, stick them in the backpack, then put them on Maxwell whenever the game forces any customization to go away when it calls you back to Lily to unlock more levels. Aside from character creation, you can also create objects. This lets you create things or people however you choose. My problems with the creation is that you can't send objects forward or backward through the layers. I mean, it's obvious that the game works by layers here, so why can't I make sure one layer is above another? And I know there are more hairstyles than the standard wig and toupee, so why isn't there a menu for hairstyles you can stick on the people you make? Strangely, the game, while pretty deep, only seems to get shallower and shallower as you go on. It reminds me a lot of the clothing in Pokemon X and Y. It's the first time they've ever given you the options, but it just seems shallow compared to what they could have done with it. Now, the game may not seem to have that much replay value on the surface, but there is one little thing that makes it worth replaying, just not over and over consecutively. It's a sub-game I call How Many Funny Answers Can I Make to These Questions? Since you will no doubt find your own hilarious bits of the game, here are just a few of mine to whet your appetite. You need something ancient for your Philosopher's Stone? Here, have an old man. You all need roommates in prison? You get a completionist! You get a completionist! You're all getting a completionist! You want me to put a name up for your science project, eh? Time to put up the most immature thing I can think of. I am an evil mastermind! Need something romantic for your date? Bring in the mariachi band! Oh, the aliens want something before they leave? Here, have Peanut Butter Gamer. Yes, with PBG in space and a completionist in jail several times, the internet will have no choice but to watch me and my series. What? I told you I was an evil mastermind. You know what? This game is pretty good. Even if you're a grown-up, you'll enjoy the game if you try to make all the answers as funny as possible. So with everything in mind, I'm going to give this game a solid A. The only reason it is not an A+ is because some of the features are lacking in how awesome they could have been, and some confusion with the puzzles that don't really match the child-oriented mindset. Well, that was fun. What game should I do next week? Hey, why don't you throw me a like, a comment, and subscribe to my channel, and while you're commenting, suggest something for a video later. I could always use some new ideas.